Hey, what's going on everyone, welcome back to the channel, and a couple months ago I made a video guide on how to stealth on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You guys really enjoyed it, so here's another top 10 tricks and tips to improve your stealth even further. Some of these you probably already know, but for the new players out there and for returning veterans, they might just come in handy. Number 10. Recon the area extensively. So this one is pretty straightforward. Reconning the base is a good first step when taking down any compound. You can do this using a drone for example, and what I like to keep in mind is to spot all of the enemy snipers first. These will usually be located on sniper towers and roofs, but they might be patrols to go inside and outside of buildings. Talking of which, it's also very important to recognize enemy patrols. They can go anywhere from 1 man to 4 men strong, and all of them will have a pre-designated patrol pattern. When I'm doing a recon, I like to keep in mind the best places to take them out. Usually I try to do it on the compound edges in order to minimize exposure. If needed, I will be moving bodies, but that does take a little bit of time, so it's important to know that no sentinel guards are going to go your way while you do it. So taking a few minutes of your time to do this is definitely important and will be a key aspect for a smooth takedown. Number 9. Target Prioritization. Taking into account you have already done the recon, you can now start formulating a plan. What I mean with this is what side of the base you're coming from, where the snipers are. I like to pick one side of the base and go from there. I also keep in mind to take down the snipers first. I go from top to bottom, the top being the sniper towers and roofs, and the bottom being the underground areas. What I mean with target prioritization is knowing which enemies to kill first and why. I've got detected countless times because I get caught from snipers, so taking them out first will definitely improve your chances of remaining stealthy. Again, kill the damn snipers. Number 8. Bushes and tall grass. So hiding behind bushes and tall grass will work the same way as in prone camo. You will be totally hidden behind the grass, but the big advantage with bushes is that you can shoot off them. Now that doesn't happen with the prone camo. The moment you aim your weapon, you will get off cover, and that might give you a false sense of security. In Breakpoint, when you alert the base, they will go to the spot where they think the shots are coming from. Hiding in these bushes will allow you to remain completely stealthy, thus avoiding detection. Another last known fact is that you can make some pretty badass takedowns with them. Number 7. Bullet Lure. So the Bullet Lure has been added to Breakpoint in the latest update, and it works similarly to the Diversion Lure. The difference being that the Bullet Lure has an infinite amount of ammo, but on the downside you can only attract one enemy at once. I don't really see this as a downside. Not only it's cool to have an option to attract different numbers of enemies, but it's especially good on smaller bases. I like to use it in conjunction with bushes, luring the enemies outside of the base and then taking them out quietly. It is especially effective when dividing a big number of enemies all bunched up together. Number 6. Flashbangs. If you don't have the space to use the Bullet Lure and just come across a big number of enemies, you can simply use a flashbang. I like to keep this in mind. If I can't lure them, I'll flash them. The flashbang grenades on Breakpoint are especially useful on situations like these. Of course, if you are fast enough, you can definitely kill them without it, but it's better off taking the easy way out and throw a banger over letting one of them survive and get your stealth ruined. Number 5. EMP Grenades. So I'm pretty sure you guys already know what an EMP grenade is and what it works for. They are especially helpful at taking down drones and behemoths. However, what a lot of people don't know is the fact that they can also turn off non-shootable lights. So while most lights in Breakpoint are shootable, some of them aren't, and the EMP grenade comes especially handy in these situations. The enemies will take more time to spot you if you are on the shadows, so turning down as much lights as possible is going to be a big advantage. Not only that, but turning them down will also make NVGs work much better. Number 4. Not turning off the generator. So I see a lot of people going for the generator as the first thing they do when clearing a base, and while it does work at disabling the machine gun and mortar emplacements, while also turning down all lights, it will have the repercussion of alerting all enemies inside it. Depending on the difficulty you are playing on, this might not be so bad, but if you're playing on extreme, the enemies will thoroughly clean the base looking for any intruders. The first thing that we'll do is to check on the generator, so it might be a good diversion maneuver if your objective is on the other side of the base. But for the most part, what I like doing is to throw a C4 on the Genny itself, and if by some reason I do get caught, I will then explode the generator, clearing a path for myself and avoiding further detection. Number 3. Use the cover of the night. So it's a no-brainer that being stealthy works better off at night, but maybe not because of the reasons you might expect. Operating at night makes stealth a much more viable option and definitely an easier one. The simple reason behind it is that you will be able to see sentinels' flashlights. This on its own is a very important aspect since you can even see the flashlights through walls, making it much easier to identify threats. Do keep in mind though that some enemies such as wolves and heavies for example will not be using flashlights, so don't completely rely on the lights for detection, but rather use them as an extra help. Number 2. Take your time and use common sense. So if you keep in mind all the things I've said previously, we'll definitely have a much easier time doing stealth. However, it is up to you to use common sense when doing a takedown. Don't rush it, take your time, use your eyes and ears. Most of my stealth fails comes from me not taking my time and screwing it up. Sometimes it's better off to wait a minute or two to make sure an area is completely clear before making your move, or making that mistake and get surprised by people you didn't even know they were there. Headphones play a huge part with this. Having peripheral audio is very important. Knowing where the voices come from is like 50% of the stealth. Sentinel soldiers talk quite a lot, so if you are hearing two different voices, they are probably not alone. I'd say you can hear Sentinel voices on a 10 to 30 while 50 meter radius, so definitely keep that in mind. On the other hand, sometimes they can be completely quiet, so definitely don't push things, take it easy, aim your weapon while clearing hallways since that will help you out quite a lot. If you do get surprised, you can just shoot them off. Whenever you can, make sure to use your knife. Even suppressed shots can be heard by Sentinel soldiers. They won't know it's a shot, but they will investigate the noise and that might give you away. So to counter this, a knife takedown is a very good option since they won't be able to hear it. Straight edges knives are quicker than karambits, so definitely keep that in mind when choosing your blade. Number 1. Have fun. This is the most important tip I can give you. Doing stealth in extreme mode with no HUD can be pretty daunting at the beginning, and you might fail 90% of the bases you try at first, but with time and if you don't give up, you will eventually get the hang of it. When I started doing my stealth videos, I was probably taking anywhere from 5 to 10 tries to pull them off perfectly, and now I can comfortably say that I do most of my stealth takedowns at first try and at a much faster pace than I did before. It's also much more enjoyable to play without the HUD, everything looks much crispier and better, and you feel way more connected and immersed in the game. Not to mention that most of these tips are completely worthless if you are using HUD, so definitely don't use it as it just ruins the game. If there was something I forgot mentioning, definitely throw it down in the comment section and let me know your opinion on this video. I don't usually do this kind of guides, but I definitely had a good time with this one, and will definitely keep doing them if there is a need for them. But that's going to be it for today guys, I will see you all on the next one. Until then, have a good one. Custerplay signing out.